Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be speaking about good girl conditioning. And are you abandoning your needs and desires and your desire for commitment to accommodate men where they are at because you believe if you abandon yourself, they will suddenly see your worth and change for you? So this is a very common thing we see with women, and it's something that we need to acknowledge to ourselves and correct if we are somebody who wants a long-lasting connection, if we want commitment, okay? Because the thing is, on this journey of healing our feminine, it's not just about recognizing the negative ways that men have been conditioned to see us and the things they've been conditioned to expect from us. It's also about recognizing and deconditioning the ways that we have been conditioned to see ourselves and that therefore control our actions. So something we see with so many women is that women will know that they want commitment, yet they'll be entertaining a man who is clearly showing you he has no interest in commitment through his actions, okay? Now, this taps into so much conditioning, like good girl syndrome. So we've got this idea, we've been conditioned with this idea that if we abandon ourselves for a man and if we just put aside our desire for commitment for a while to give our energy to this man who is clearly showing us he does not want commitment, he will one day mature because he sees our worth and he'll then want commitment. So we've been, I like to refer it to this like Christian Grey conditioning, because so many movies and books and just so many stories condition us with this same idea of if you just, that a man, an immature man, will grow for a woman who essentially abandons herself for him. So she knows she wants commitment, but she's choosing to be with him anyway, regardless of the fact that he does not. This has been such a popular thing and a normalized thing for so long, and if you've not recognized it before, you'll definitely recognize it now. There are so many movies and, you know, stories, and if you just listen to people's language about relationships, it's like there's this really strong held idea that if that the man will mature for a woman if she just bees with him anyway, regardless of what she wants. So now this stems from the conditioning that women are supposed to abandon ourselves and our equally important needs and desires, like the desire for commitment, in order to accommodate a man where he is at. So we are essentially conditioned to believe that if we do that and accommodate a man where he is at, rather than stay true to where we are at and therefore hold men to that standard, he will somehow grow and mature for us because he sees our worth, because we've abandoned ourselves for him. Now this also stems and taps into the conditioning that of a society that for a very long time has been measuring women's worth based on our willingness to abandon ourselves for men. So that also creates this idea that if a woman abandons where she's at and what she wants and needs for a man, he will of course then see her worth because she's abandoned herself for him. And that's how we're conditioned to measure women's worth. It's incredibly toxic and unhealthy, and it's all about abandoning ourselves and not being true to ourselves and where we are at and what we want and need in order to accommodate men with what they want and the place they are in, instead of just being true to ourselves and saying, actually, you are not compatible with me and what I want and need, therefore I'm going to continue going on by myself. toward another man who is compatible with me. But instead, because of this conditioning and because most of us are not aware of this conditioning, we unconsciously do it and we just abandon ourselves for men who don't want commitment while we're suppressing our need and desire for commitment. So if you're a woman who is on this healing journey and you're healing your feminine energy and you want commitment, this is something you need to be aware of and you need to acknowledge to yourself. Because I'm sorry to tell you, it's not like in the movies. An immature man or just a man who doesn't want commitment is not going to change for you. And he's not going to see your worth because you've abandoned yourself for him. Because your worth is not measured by your willingness to abandon yourself for men and to accommodate them, okay? He's not going to change for you. And his growth is not your responsibility. Okay? We can support people and we can have compassion for them and respect where they are at without abandoning where we are at. Okay? So you can respect that a man is either not ready for commitment or he just doesn't want it without abandoning yourself and your equally important need and desire to accommodate him where he is at. Women for a long time have been conditioned to essentially mother men. We've been conditioned to believe that it's our responsibility to grow a man, that we should accommodate them in their immaturity by abandoning ourselves in order to mature them in a man who meets us on our level. But the truth is, what you actually need to do is recognize he's not on your level and accept that this means you are incompatible. And so you stay true to yourself and your commitment to yourself and you respectfully decline and move on. It's never an argument. It's never a please see my worth. It's just a I recognize we are not in alignment and I will not abandon my equally important needs and desires. I will not abandon the place I am in to accommodate you where you are at. You are in alignment with a woman who's in the same place as you, and that's not me. So respectfully, good day, sir. And like I explained in my previous video about never chasing a man, men will often show you through their actions when they are in an immature place or just in a place where they don't want commitment. You know, when they're running away, trying to get you to chase them, when they are being inconsistent, when they're only messaging you on Friday nights at 2 a.m, when they're dishonest, when they're just trying to throw you crumbs to keep you on the hook while they're off, considering other options, unwilling to be vulnerable, these kinds of things, okay? They show you where a man is at and they very clearly show you you cannot have any kind of healthy, lasting connection with him, okay? So when we're on this healing journey, you need to be honest with yourself. Are you entertaining these kinds of men? Are you giving time and energy to men who show up this way? Because if you are, and you're somebody who has defined they want commitment and they want a healthy connection, you need to perhaps acknowledge to yourself that you're still in good girl conditioning, Christian Grey conditioning, abandoning yourself to accommodate men where they're at. You need to acknowledge yourself, okay? Because like I said, like I always say, the first step of attracting what you want is saying no to what you don't want. You cannot attract a commitment and a healthy relationship if you're entertaining things that are absolutely not that. You cannot attract the right man while you're entertaining the wrong men, okay? If you want to attract the right man, you need to say no to men that are not the right men. And they show you generally through their actions, like this inconsistent game-playing behavior. Just remember this. If a man is in alignment with you, and he's in alignment with your needs and desires, and he's in alignment with your boundaries and your standards and the things you want out of a relationship and where you want the relationship to go, you will not be asked or required to abandon yourself for him. So if you are having to abandon things, you need to acknowledge that you are not in alignment. Okay? That's not to say compromise does not happen, but when it comes to compromise, we need to ask ourselves, is this a deal breaker, or is this just a smaller thing that we can be honest with each other and work together to make it work for both of us so that neither one of us is abandoning ourselves, okay? If you are doing things like having to put aside your desire for commitment, you are abandoning yourself. If you are having to abandon things that are very important to you, you're abandoning yourself. If you are having to suppress important needs and desires to accommodate the man, you are abandoning yourself. You should always be safe with your partner to have open conversations about things that you need and desire. Neither one of you should have to abandon yourself, okay? It should be an open conversation where you can work together to make sure you are both fulfilled. Being with a man who doesn't want commitment when you want commitment is not you working together. It is you abandoning yourself. And it will lead you into a connection that is unfulfilling to you. Okay? So ask yourself what men you are dealing with. And if you're being true to yourself and your commitment to yourself and your needs and desires, or are you abandoning yourself to accommodate a man in what he wants? Okay? So thank you so much for watching. I really hope this has helped you, and I'll see you soon.